good, very good. Now, any of the coaches that are sticking around afterwards, also if you see them, feel free to approach these guys with more questions. If there's anything you thought of after the fact. I'd like to introduce the next speaker for today is Brandon Fallon. Brandon is the tennis director at Advantage Tennis Academy. You guys probably see them at most of the tournaments. It is a boarding school and tennis academy, one of the few in Southern California. Brandon's going to be handing out some things. Let me tell you a little bit about Brandon. He has coached at San Diego State University and Cal Poly. He was ATP ranked in singles and doubles for 3 years. He has a USPTA certified coach and also a USTA certified high performance coach. Okay, so Brandon's going to be talking to you guys here. And Brandon, you are on. Okay. Enjoy.
All right, guys, I'm going to try to cover a lot of information here in about 40 minutes. So I'm giving you a couple pieces of paper. Hopefully it's not a distraction at the beginning here. A little history on me. I played high school tennis for 4 years, and I went to every practice. I was top 5 in Southern California, almost every age division, and I don't think that going to practice playing high school tennis was anything that I regret. I think it was a great experience. A lot of the kids don't get the high school experience or the team experience, and then they come to college. And I'd rather recruit a guy that went to a high school, was on a high school team at least a couple of years, got that experience doing that. One thing is we're trying to get our kids a little more involved in high school tennis too. Some of them do homeschool. We have a big after-school program too, and we're working that out. Our kids do Irvine Unified School District, so they're not just doing something online, they're doing it through actual Irvine Unified, which is a good program. My wife is an administrator for Woodbridge. So, one more thing is I was 3 days from going to UCI and getting my teaching credential, but I got the job I have now. I've been there about 5 years. I think it's a good decision. I like being outside, but I like biology too. So it's a tough decision, but okay, starting the semester, and this is something I've brought in because I'm into filming this too. I really believe seeing is believing. Kids learn from seeing things. How do we do that? It doesn't mean you need a $1,000 program. We have Dartfish, and it can be expensive for a high school program, but it can be also a great program for comparing. But there's a lot of programs out there. We use Dartfish. You can do match play on it, where you cut the match play up and look at just the forehands after the serve, or look at just the backhand returns. I use it more for comparing pros' strokes to the kids' strokes. There's a lot of them though. There's one that's $99 that you can get online. I recommend it. And what we do is we get them in at the beginning of the semester and we film them. Then we have kind of a, we put the date on there, the time, so they know this is the beginning of the semester. Then we film them again maybe 12 weeks later. Then we film it at the end of the semester. There better be improvement in stroke production, or if it's a match thing, then there better be improvement in tactics over a semester of coming to an academy, or even for a high school. Hopefully they're improving, you can see it. Also testing players. I like the USPTA test. It's a great test. Why not give it to the kids? It's all set up for you. There's an ITN number that I don't have much experience with, but a guy came to our San Diego State program and taught us how to do it. That's another test. I like the tiebreaker test. It's a pretty simple test. I'm feeding from here. They're over there. So you got to hit the first ball cross court in this box. The second ball, I feed them on the run. They got to hit the second ball in this box. Then they have to hit the approach deep in either downline box. I either go to the forehand or the backhand. Then they come in, they have to hit the volley, forehand volley or backhand cross court in the shorter box. Then the next volley's here in this box, and then they have to make the overhead. They get 1 point if they do it and not miss. If they miss, they lose a point. Anytime they miss one of those balls, they lose a point, and you play to 7. That's why it's a tiebreaker. It's not that easy. And so, you know, it's a good test. You can see some improvement over the time. Yes. Let's show it. Who wants to do a tiebreaker test? Okay.
Tell me when you drop the racket.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Tell me when you drop.
Tell you what? Drop.
All right, so the first ball has to go in this deep box. I'm going to give you a forehand first. Then I'm going to give you a backhand. You got to go deep in this box. Then I'm going to give you a shorter ball. You're going to hit a downline approach. I'll give you a forehand. So you're going to go to this box again. Then I'm going to give you an easy forehand volley. You got to put it in a short box. Easy backhand volley. Then an overhead.
Drop.
Here we go. Forehand first. We'll give you that one. 1,
Ball on.
2, good. You're going to get a forehand here. Short, so you lose the point. You got to go deep in the box.
Drop.
So let's do it one more time.
So you don't finish, you just stop.
Just stop, yep.
As soon as they miss,
Can you
you
do
go back
one
and
so
start.
I go 1-2?
1-0 me. 1, 2, come on up. Out again. So what are we seeing here?
Was he at negative?
Yeah, he needs to work on his forehand approach maybe. And if we're seeing that that's where he's stopping a lot, then maybe that's the shot they need to work on the most.
What do you call this?
Tiebreaker test.
Racket pressing.
It's a tough test. I mean, we get kids that are, you know, they come in, they think they're pretty good national level players, and they can't pass the tiebreaker test. So what I gave you is a paper. It's called the Player Evaluation. This is from Maximum Tennis book. It's kind of taken from that. The kids need to know what they're good at. A lot of kids do not know what they're good at. How did you win that set? Or what are you good at in doubles? Doubles or singles? What's your best play? You know, I ask the question when they come in, what's your best shot? My forehand. Well, it's not very specific. You need to be specific. I got a great inside-out roll forehand. Or I have a great downline slice backhand. Or my serve out wide is my best serve on the deuce side. They got to know what they're good at. And that paper, I'm not going to go over it very much because you guys can look at it. Pretty self-explanatory. It really gets into things. What's your long-term vision for your game? What patterns work for you? You can see the paper, it's pretty long. And then the end is the goals. And the kids have to write goals. I think every semester, if you spend one practice and you make the kids write some goals down. I like the story of Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey put a check for $1 million in his wallet, and he said, someday I'll cash that. And he did. He cashes it 20 times every movie he does. Might be more now. But you have to set the goals and make sure you see him every day. Put him in your bathroom. Put him above your bed. I think that's just one of the things we have to get better at. And it's also, this paper's a good guideline for the coach. We know exactly what Tim's working on, or we know what Ashley's working on, because you filled this out with them, and you guys are on the same page.